It's the 19th of Ellul. The land of Israel is invested with sanctity and Kedusha. The Gemara in Baba Batra tells us that even the air in Israel is conducive to spiritual growth. And so maybe it's easier for people living in Israel to feel more spiritually connected. What about the rest of us? What about those living in Chutz La'aretz, in the diaspora? What happens for those of us in Edgware, where Hashem's presence is not felt as readily? How are we expected to feel closer to Hashem, especially during Elul, when that closeness is so important? And maybe the answer can be found in a lesson from our Parsha, Ki Tavo, which teaches about the mitzvah of Bikurim, the first fruits that are offered in the Beit HaMikdash. The Torah tells us that a farmer living in Israel, when they see the first fruit, they can't eat any of them. They must first bring their fruit to Yerushalayim and make a declaration to the Kohen. And the Kohen is told the same thing, and it's outlined in the Parsha, and it's repeated in the Haggadah. To remind you, it says, "My forefather was a wandering Aramean, and he went down to Egypt and sojourned there with a small number of people. And there he became great, mighty, and a numerous nation. And the Egyptians treated us cruelly and afflicted us, and they imposed hard labor upon us. So we cried out to Hashem, God of our fathers, and Hashem heard our voice and saw our affliction, our toil, and our oppression. And Hashem brought us out from Egypt with a strong hand and with an outstretched arm, with great awe and with signs and with miracles. And he brought us to this place, and he gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey." If you think about it, a farmer in the times of the Torah, in the times of the Nevi'im, couldn't just snatch a piece of fruit from a tree and eat it. They had to go through this whole ceremony and recite this long declaration before they could enjoy their harvest. Why? What's with the whole procedure before you can eat a little piece of fruit? There's a Rabbi Shalom Rosner, who has taught that the Bikurim ceremony impresses upon us the vital teaching that we need to really take on board, that everything that happens to us in life, even a small fruit growing on a tree, is worthy of celebration and thanksgiving to Hashem. The mitzvah of Bikurim outlined in our Parsha this week of Ki Tavo teaches us that the little things in life are so important. Now, as I've said before, there are really no little things. Everything that happens to us in the world, absolutely everything that happens to us in this world, is important, because the world is governed by Hashem. Nothing is left to chance whatsoever. It's Hashem's world. It's orchestrated for a specific purpose, and therefore even something that seems small is worthy of ceremony, because it's connected to Hashem, it's been given to us by Hashem. That's why a Jewish farmer, when they see their first fruit, they don't just say, "Oh, I want to taste this, I want to try this." No. What they have to do is they have to mark it and bring it to Yerushalayim and make a whole declaration, recalling the long road from slavery to freedom, from being an oppressed nation in Mitzrayim to a self-sufficient community in the land of Israel, a land flowing with milk and honey. The farmer offers up his first fruit as an expression of gratitude to Hashem. Are we grateful for the little things that we sometimes take for granted in life? We may not live in Israel. We may not have the holiness of the land of Israel to inspire us during the month of Ellul, but we, Baruch Hashem, we have food, we have clothing, we have parks, we have fields, even in Edgware. We have opportunities to express gratitude for the beautiful and small things in life. So before we eat anything, before we take anything, remember to say Abraha, express our gratitude, as everything we are given to eat is a blessing. The food we eat in Chutz La'aretz, in Edgware, in London, around the world, may not have the holy status of Orla, and today we no longer perform the mitzvah of Bikurim. But reciting brachot brings holiness into our everyday lives, wherever we are. So if we're looking for something to feel more spiritually connected to during Elul, making brachot before eating is an excellent way to go. As I said yesterday, we need to do it with kavanah, with feeling. As Jews, we thank Hashem for everything. For bread, we say, Baruch atah Hashem, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Blessed are you, Hashem, who brings forth bread from the earth. Again, if we eat cakes, if we eat biscuits, we thank Hashem, who's created various forms of sustenance. Every single grape, every single fruit, everything we say a bracha, reminding us that Hashem has created it. We always remember the connection, the meaningful way that Hashem has brought his presence into this world, and we're grateful for Hashem's holiness in this world. Yes, I know we all work hard for what we have. We have to recognize and indeed teach the world that success does not come without Hashem's bracha. The farmer in biblical times worked his land to see fruit, but the Torah told him to recognize Hashem's rule in bringing his ancestors out of Egypt, delivering them to a land of milk and honey, blessing him with fruit and produce. The material success we enjoy from our own hard work shouldn't obscure Hashem's blessings in what we have. The mitzvah of Bikurim that we read about happened in the times of the Torah, yes. The mitzvah of saying brachot in our day teaches us to be grateful for literally everything we have in our lives. Let's make sure we don't take things for granted, and we're grateful to Hashem for everything that he's given us, and that way we can feel even more connected to Hashem during this month of Ellul.